In today's video, I just want to take a look at EndeavourOs and do the installation. And let's take a look here. So we're at the home page right now for EndeavourOs at EndeavourOs.com. And they also have their own community with, the forums. Actually, pretty good, actually. And yeah, let's take a look here. So you just download either the torrent or the magnet. Go down here, select your country or something close by. And then have several options on here. So let's take a look at it. So I have a virtual machine running already. If I get this to work here, there we go. First thing I like to do, just go onto here, update the mirrors. Sometimes it may take like maybe a few seconds or so. Once that's done, then let's start the installation. Well, let's save this. You can do either offline or you can do online, which I'll do online in this case. Now, it just may take a few minutes. No, maybe not a few minutes, but a few seconds or so. And it's launching the Calamares installer. And it selected the right area in general. Right keyboard already. The desktop I like to use is the Plasma desktop. If I were installing this on like my actual system in this case, then there's a couple things that I would change here and there, but not a whole lot really. Like GPU drivers, and actually I might keep those. And then CPU, since I have an AMD CPU, then I'd put it I'd unselect the Intel in CPU. Pretty much the only thing I'd really change. Maybe printer support if you want that. Then if you have multiple hard drives, you'd select which hard drive you'd want to install onto. So I'm just going to do that. I'll just do that one, and then now just make up a username. There, just something. And of course a complicated password. Hit next. Now let's install. It may take a little bit of time, so I'll come back whenever the installation is finished. Okay, now we're back and it has finished installing. I'm going to restart this. And it took about, roughly 10 minutes or so. So let's let it reboot. Usually this doesn't take too long, but I'll just let it do its thing here. So the first time you log in, it's going to look something like this. Let's get into the system here. And sometimes this will be the first screen that you might see. And it's just kind of taking its time loading the desktop for right now. But once we get to the desktop, then we're going to do some updates here, which doesn't take too much. Okay, so now that the desktop has been loaded, first thing you want to do, I want to update. Clicked on this, but sometimes it may take a few seconds or so. You just hit OK. Or you might need to select one of the countries over here. Sometimes it may take a couple seconds or so. That's what I was waiting for right there. Now for the system update. And I did not call that up. Okay, let's get this going. Now this part may take a couple minutes or so. Okay, so that part's done. On here, there's something, let's see, there we go. Might not be a whole lot to clean up on this one, but Usually I like to set this up to where it's daily. And then there for right now. There we go. Then if you have an NVIDIA video card, somewhere in here, go to NVIDIA users and it'll take you to the website, and it's very easy to install. You just click on that and Firefox will come up in just a minute or so. Okay, we got it loading here. Don't need this tab. I know this one's going to be a bright page, of course, because it doesn't have any kind of like dark page selections or anything. This page has changed some, but normally I go to this one here. All you do is you type in this right here into the terminal, and that's pretty much it. It'll just do everything else by itself. Other than that, only other thing I'd recommend doing is getting the wallpapers. Let's see where they're at. So download more. There we go. Now it's going to download a whole bunch of wallpapers. That way you can have more of a selection. Once that's done, yeah, it looks like it's pretty much done. Usually the virtual machine is going to be a little slower than the actual, like, doing it on the actual system. Okay, so next, let's see here. One thing you'll want to check out, go here to settings. First thing I would do, for my system anyway, I don't want this thing to be able to be shutting off. So I just put that at never on there. Apply the settings. On here especially, I don't want it to shut off on my system, but you can set it to whatever values you want. Notifications, you can set those however you choose. Default applications, like for your video player, maybe you want VLC or something like that. Choose other, and then in multimedia, you'll be able to choose VLC if you have it installed. Then you can change the browser, the default browser, whatever you choose to do. So on this one, it pretty much has a selection of different things. Like you have, by default, you have a few development tools, and then you can always put more into there. Graphics, which you can always put on, Blender or GIMP or whatever you choose. Internet, you got, for now, you just have Firefox, which usually I like to put on a different browser. Multimedia, I don't have VLC in here just yet. Office, you can always put it in the Office software. The system monitor, I believe this one's the graphical one. Let's close this out. Here we go. On this one, it's not using a whole lot of CPU usage and not a whole lot of RAM, and then just a little bit of hard drive space in there. And it gives you stats on like the different applications that are running, the different processes. Whenever this loads here, there we go, got loaded. And yeah, first thing you do, if you want to use the command line, I usually just like to update using the command line anyway. Everything's up to date, so we're good. Anyway, well, if you like the video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to be looking at installing the chaotic AUR and then maybe the like arch repositories also. So I'll see you then.